There was a time on the earth when we lived in an environment of higher consciousness, where we were still linked with our origins from the stars, where we lived in harmony with nature and each other. Lemuria was an ancient civilization said to be the beginning of higher consciousness on the planet. People lived there in a state of oneness with nature and were taught by the Pleiadian Mothers about wisdom, compassion, duality, their spiritual connection, and higher dimensional knowledge. In this free live stream, we will be reconnecting energetically with the Pleiadian Mothers who are still here on Earth in a higher dimension. We will learn all about ancient Lemuria from the teachings and channelings of Kryon through Carroll and Monika Muranyi, and we will experience the strong energies of Lemuria in a Stargate Meditation guided by Alcazar through Prageet and Julieanne. We will bring you an energetic experience of being in the Lemurian energies, which may trigger memories if you were in Lemuria, or connect you to the vibration of higher consciousness if this is your first experience of Lemurian energies. The energy of Lemuria is still here, and now it's time to reconnect. Deep within your DNA, the secrets of higher consciousness are still held. In the timelessness of the quantum field, Lemuria is still here with us today. Join us to feel it once more and learn all about this ancient connection through the teachings and channelings of Kryon and Alcazar. Stay tuned to experience these energies in our free live stream, all about Lemuria, presented by the Stargate Experience and featuring Kryon, Carroll, and Monika Muranyi.
Hello and welcome everyone from around the world. I'm Julieanne, this is Prageet. We are here live with Monika and Carroll. Today's topic is all about Lemuria, and if you're watching this live, I'm going to invite you to stay for the entire live stream because we're going to be diving into the Kryon teachings and channelings about Lemuria. And then we're going to be having an actual energy experience with the Stargate. We'll do a meditation and almost everyone can feel the energy fields. And we're going to connect to the living presence of the knowledge, the wisdom, the masters of Lemuria. So if you got somewhere to go, you can't stay for the whole thing, make sure that you give us your name and your email because we will send you the link to the meditation. And for all of you who are watching live, we'll also make sure that we send you a link to that gorgeous intro video, which does have sound, and we'll get that fixed later. So we're going to screen share the link. It's stargate.live/Lemurian. You can go there to sign up for this free live stream to have this experience. And you can also go there and find the link to join us for an entire 4-day exploration of this topic that is going to be both in person in Mount Shasta and live streamed around the world. So wherever you are, you can experience this. And Carroll, and Monika are actually going to be with us in Shasta at the Stargate's home. So and Monika, welcome. It's so beautiful to have you here.
Hello, everyone. We are so blessed to be here on this beautiful day, connecting with all of you.
And she said it, connecting. This is so good. I can already feel the energy. It's very, very strong. And so thankful that you have taken this time on a Saturday to be with us.
Yeah, it's always really a beautiful experience connecting with you like this. But when you're in the same room, we know that it amplifies these energies incredibly. So I'm really looking forward to when you come up to Shasta for 4 whole days. Yay.
And we're going to have a live audience with us in person, which also amplifies the field. So we're going to dive right in. Lee and Monika, I know Kryon has been talking about Lemuria for a very long time. It's also Maui, Hawaii, is the birthplace of the Stargate. It's where Prageet started channeling Alcazar. It's actually where I started channeling Alcazar for the first time. So tell us, what's so special about Lemuria?
Well, firstly, I just want to really invite all of you connecting with this to discover what it is that has that pull, that magnetic pull and attraction for you. Because the very word Lemuria, when I first heard it, there was an intrigue. There was this kind of mystery, almost like the mystical. What is Lemuria, and why do I feel drawn to this? And perhaps that is you now connecting on this special program where we're talking about that very subject, because I believe that within your DNA, within the collective human consciousness, there is a connection with Lemuria. And we're going to talk about what that connection is and why you would be feeling it. And a lot of the information you will find is all over the planet now. It's emerging, this connection and story and remembrance to Lemuria. When I wrote The Women of Lemuria and I started researching what exists, I was amazed at the accounts on Lemuria and the vast differences, actually. So this was something that was very interesting to me. When you begin to look at Lemuria as a topic and start researching it, you will find information that almost seems to contradict itself. So that in itself is fascinating to me as an author and a researcher. And yet, when you start looking at the information and start pulling it apart and looking at the metaphors that exist within the information, you are actually finding pieces of a jigsaw puzzle, all with its own variants of remembrance of the one common thing that humanity experienced together. And so now I want to ask Lee to share the information Kryon has given us about Lemuria, which perhaps provides that more complete piece of the puzzle, of the jigsaw puzzle pieces all coming together to help you understand that connection and pull you feel to Lemuria.
There's just so much information we could give you about it. That is a lot of science, and there's a lot of what Kryon has said. There's a lot of what Indigenous have said. There's a lot of what mythology has said. And what Monika was saying is when you start researching, it starts to pull itself together, and it all points to one place. Now, I would like to tell you, first of all, we're talking about what is Lemuria. And I'll tell you what I think it is, and from and then we'll go to perhaps, if you'd like to, where, and then later in the program we're going to talk about why. However, right away I have to say to you, I cannot speak of this without also speaking of the science of DNA and what has been discovered. Because let me start there. Are you aware that we are not from the ancestors that you heard or learned about in anthropology, in books? We didn't come from anything here. Now, let me just tell you right now, one of the biggest controversial things they're finding all over, whether you're digging bones up in Egypt or whether you're digging them up in Europe or wherever, they are being able to be tested, one for the first time, with their DNA. There is enough, whether it's mitochondrial or whatever, and they're finding that they are not us. We have 23 pairs of chromosomes that can be seen under a microscope, and that is who we are. And almost everything before 200,000 years ago has 24 under the microscope. So right away we have this anomaly, you might say, and that is something happened that it was 200,000 years ago or so that changed us. And that is the beginning of Lemuria. If I had to give you just a couple of sentences of what is Lemuria, I would say it is where the teaching began that was sacred for the civilization of those with 23 chromosomes. That's us. What if there was a place that started it all, where we were taught from the stars the essence of spirituality, all about that which was the creator, all about compassion and kindness, all about how everything works? What an idea. That is Lemuria. And then we get into why. And the answer I will give to you so that it could be that information, that beautiful, sacred, wonderful information could be implanted in us so that someday it would awaken. That day is now. You're looking at a program that is all tied in to that. Now, Julieanne, she's coming from Hawaii, and you're going to see that she really is in Hawaii right now. And I'll tell you, that is where Kryon said Lemuria is. It is. It has now some science behind it. It was some called it Mu, some called it a mini continent. All of these things have been given in scientific terms by Kryon. How could that be a mini continent? It wasn't. It was something else. I'm not going to go into that now. Maybe we can talk about that later. Was it real? Yes. I have sat with those in Hawaii who were the kahunas and the ancients and represented their lineage, telling me right to my face, this is Lemuria. There are places there that claim this, even a very famous Hindu temple, the channel, that is Lemuria. And so it is just the tip of the mountain of what used to be a mini continent. Does this relate to you? This is not Atlantis, folks. We're talking about something exceptionally sacred. There are other things that I could give, chapter and verse that Kryon has given, but it starts to marry so strongly to the evidence we have, both in mythology and also with the indigenous. We are starting to have some wonderful validations, even in science, to the fact that this was a real place where we started to learn sacred things from the stars.
And when Lee says learning from the stars, this is where I want to introduce the Pleiadian star mothers. Now, this is where Kryon says that humanity was born from. It is from the Pleiadian star mothers coming to Earth by loving design with benevolence. And they are the ones that birthed a different kind of human. We're going to talk about that in the next section when we talk about the 24th chromosome. But it is from the star mothers, and this is where the sacred wisdom came from. And so Lemuria is not just a beautiful connection and remembrance to this society, but it is a beautiful connection to higher consciousness, an ascended consciousness that still resides within the energy of the earth, particularly in potent places like Hawaii, Maui. And so now I want to throw it over to Prageet and Jules, because Stargate was birthed in Maui, Hawaii.
Yeah.
And there is a deep connection with Lemurian energies and the Stargate.
Yeah, that's really true. And my experience, the very first time that I went to Maui, I was sat by the window, and as I was looking out and the island of Maui just appeared, I burst into tears, and it totally shocked me. I had no idea what's going on, but my heart was like exploding and my eyes were like crying. And yes, I came to discover later on that, yeah, I have a very deep connection with the land there. Maui is home for me. And then as this process went on, Alcazar started to channel, And he asked me to build the Stargate, which I've done. And now there's thousands of them around the world. And it was so touching. It's such an amazing energy there. And although I don't remember, I am absolutely sure that I walked the land many, many thousands of years ago.
Yeah. And I actually am on Maui right now. I came over here to do a meditation series, particularly because I started to feel this shift in my consciousness. It's just glimpses, but I've gotten these glimpses of higher states of consciousness than I've really experienced before. And I felt so drawn to explore what that is. I came over here to do a series called The Essence of the Beyond, because as I said, Prageet and I both started channeling here for the first time. And so there's this supportive energy field that the Hawaiian Islands still carry to this day. And this is really what this collaboration is all about. The Lemurian energies can assist all of us in embodying this shift in human consciousness. Alcazar has said that Lemuria was this bubble of higher consciousness, that the people who walked there could remember their origins in the stars. Lee and Monika, like, you introduced us to Kahuna Kalei. We met her in Moscow, Russia, back in 2015, I think. And she would say also that her lineage of Hawaiians could trace their lineage all the way back to Lemuria and all the way back to the Pleiades.
Yeah, let me just say that when you're talking about Kahuna Kalei, because she was allied with some of the kahunas that we met, and they have documentation. I'll never forget with the same kahuna that worked with her and worked with us. He took me to the edge of the crater in the Big Island, and he pointed to a place on the other side, way on the other side of the mountain. He said, and that is where the space canoes landed. And this was just the metaphor. He's winking at me of those from the stars who came there. And this is not a Kryon channel. I mean, this is something that is, I would say, very 3D. When you're facing off with a real life kahuna person who's talking about his lineage and his ancients and what they said. It's the same thing, by the way, that we got in that same way when we were in Australia, because they have very similar stories with the same characters and the same thing that happened in the same time frame. Now, it's another story. But this is why I get excited, because I'm a practical guy. I just don't want to just channel things and say, okay, here's the channeling. I want to say, and the channeling has got some backup and it's got some validation, and now we're discovering things. And that's what I'm all about.
And I want to just remind everyone that is watching this, wherever you are on the globe right now, those energies from Lemuria are available to you wherever you are, because it exists within the quantum field. And so today, I feel when we get to the experience part of it, the essence and energies of the Star Mothers and Lemuria is going to be delivered to you wherever you are. So that's what gets us so excited about coming together today to be with all of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And also, it feels very much like the energies are being realigned to what's happening on the planet now. So we're bringing back these old energetics from Lemuria, and they are being realigned to the consciousness of today to uplift the whole of humanity.
And Lee, you alluded to this, but one of the questions that we wanted to explore today is the 24th chromosome that Kryon has talked about. And he said that it's multidimensional. And so can you say a little bit about that, Lee and Monika?
It starts in a very esoteric way. It starts with things you cannot see. Now, I never liked that. Even before I started channeling, I made fun of esoteric people because I said they always, yeah, that's fine. It's invisible. Oh, they can say whatever they want to. It's invisible. So here we are with the 24th pair. Kryon says it's invisible, but not.
How convenient,
Yes,
right?
how convenient. Here is what Kryon has said, and I will tell you, this is about to explode. I can feel it. Information is coming. I can feel it. That is going to be different even than what I tell you today, because we are living in a shift where something is going to happen with that 24th pair. Here is what Kryon says. We were given what appears to be 23 pairs of chromosomes. That's what you see under the microscope, but it doesn't make sense in what would say the base 4 of physics, the base 12 that we all see all around us in the universe. Everything is divisible by 4 and 6 and 8. It's a base 12 system, and we only have 23. We do have 24. The 24th pair is multidimensional. Now, it's not just invisible. If you had the ability to see in other dimensions, you would see it. Kryon says there will come some instruments, they have to, where we're able to see quantum things. We're working on that very thing. For those who don't believe me, talk to a quantum biologist. Why does that even exist, quantum biology, if there wasn't an admission that we are multidimensional beings? So Kryon says this multidimensional 24th pair of chromosomes is from the stars. This is the awakening set. This is what's going to happen. It was built for you for now. It's going to come online somehow, some way, and do something very soon. I know Kryon's going to give that information. And when that occurs, we will know a whole lot more about why it exists. I know for all of you, perhaps just watching this live broadcast that are not esoteric, it is a stretch because it's invisible.
But what I love, Lee, is when I start looking at the information from Kryon and then doing some research, what I find ends up blowing me away. Kryon said Pleiadians came 200,000 years ago, where the Pleiadian star mothers were the ones that created the new human, where they took 24 pairs of chromosomes and blended them in a way to create 23 biological pairs that we see and the 24th pair that Lee talks about, so that you still had all of the biological information from the 24 pairs being expressed onto the 23. So that in itself is mind-blowing. But when science begins to see and report things that line up with this information from Kryon, that's when I get really excited. And so there was a book written by Greg Braden called originally Human by Design. It's been retitled to The Science of Self-Empowerment. But if we look at the title, Human by Design, and what is in the contents of this book, something took place 200,000 years ago that science has noted within us and our ancestors. 200,000 years ago, there was chromosome 2 that appears to have a telomere to telomere fusion that took place within the middle of that chromosome, which means 2 chromosomes were spliced and put together, suggesting it was done with intent. And it all took place 200,000 years ago. And the result of that chromosome 2, which appears to have overlapping functions merge and blend together, is that this is when science also reported that our ancestors got an increased brain size, that we had empathy, that we now had memory learning, and other factors that then defined humanity on the track we now find itself. And here is an interesting question to consider. 200,000 years ago, through evolution, we had what the Indigenous call intervention. And for the last 200,000 years, everything within our DNA has stayed the same. We have not seen any other genetic mutations or evolvements. So that implies that everything we could possibly need is already within us. Welcome to the 24th chromosome pair that came from the stars, that is multi-dimensional, and currently there are no instruments on the planet that can see and measure this. But there will come a day where this can be seen and measured.
Can I just say one thing too? And it seems like it might not even be in context, but it is to me, because I sat at the base of Machu Picchu in a restaurant some years ago talking to a Kiro shaman. Now, the Kiros live way outside of Cusco, and they are the forerunners of the Incas. They've been there a very, very long time. I had one question for this shaman who didn't even speak Spanish. So he had to speak Kiro. That had to be interpreted to Spanish and then given to me. And I'll never forget it, because here, this has nothing to do with Lemuria, you wouldn't think, but everything to do with validation of what we're talking about. The question was, tell me about your creation story. I want to know from this Kiro shaman, from all those thousands of years, what his ancestors said. Tell me about your creation story. This is one of the questions I ask all over the world to those who will talk to me. And he paused and he sat back and he had to think about whether or not he could say the word. And I knew something was coming. I knew that I had struck some kind of chord with him. And he smiled. By the way, we then taught with him later, I think mainly because of this question. He sized me up and knew I was okay because I had asked that question. And here was his answer, translated from Kiro to Spanish to English. And the answer was one word: intervention. That's the creation story that we're talking about in Lemuria.
And for those who follow the Kryon work and the revelation of the 24th chromosome pair, Kryon has also revealed that up until now, it has been dormant because it's been waiting for a shift in consciousness to become, I even hesitate using the word activated because that's
overused.
Overused. But essentially, it has been waiting for it to be activated, awakened, brought online, whatever terminology, concept you want to put to it. It's been waiting for the shift in consciousness, the collective shift of humanity, deciding that it wants to go on the path of cooperation, of harmony, of peace, of compassion, of kindness. And this collective consciousness has decided, yes, we are wanting to go on that path. And so now we have a system that's always been in place, triggered and ready to come online, and I feel move us into the next era that humanity is going to step into. And Jules, I love what you shared because I feel this is what you're also feeling, is this 24th pair, I believe, is going to become more present within us. And that's why I feel that you are in Maui now, tapping into that energy, and that we are doing this program today. It's almost like it's been a divine appointment organized by Alcazar and Kryon.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was actually not even gonna be here still. I had to change my flight because I couldn't quite bring myself to leave. And then there was a blizzard, so it was actually good that I did that. So this wasn't planned, but now we get to do this rainbow bridge from Maui to Mount Shasta, which, as Lemuria slowly sank into the ocean, this is part of the Hawaiian story, is that Kahuna Kalei told us their ancestors went off in 8 different directions, and Shasta in California is one of the places that they went. So that's also why we're doing this particular collaboration in the energy of the mountain.
And also, coming back to the 24th chromosome, Alcazar doesn't talk about it as the chromosome, but in the meditations that we do, he almost always says that these energies are starting to reactivate your higher dimensional DNA. And so it's coming through in a different way, but there's this alignment. And that's one of the things that I really love about the way that Lee brings through Kryon and that we bring through Alcazar. The explanations come in different words, but they align beautifully together.
Totally. So, we have one more question, and this one is for Kryon. And the question is, what is the task of the new Lemurian? And I want to also sprinkle in some magic dust, and if Kryon has anything to share with us about what is inside of that 24th chromosome, because you called it the awakening chromosome. It's the part of our DNA that carries the magic, right? Whatever light beam is coming down as I'm saying this. So I'm going to hand it over to you, Lee and Monika, and we can roll into the meditation and the channeling.
It's a good idea. And I'm going to have Monika start, and then we'll go right into a little bit of the energy of Kryon.
Yeah, I think if we spend a moment now connecting with each other energetically, because I feel that everyone participating in this has within them the seeds of mastery that was planted in Lemuria thousands of years ago. And those seeds are now ready to germinate and grow and blossom. And so that's why right now I invite you to close your eyes and be open to the possibility of a 24th chromosome within your system. I invite you to be open to the possibility that your ancestors came from the stars. And be open to the possibility that you are now a living expression of a Lemurian. And so if we are the living expression of a Lemurian energy, a Lemurian Akash, then let us pose the question to Kryon. Dear Kryon, please tell us, what is the task of the new Lemurian?
Greetings, dear ones. I am Kryon of Magnetic Service. I have a question for you before I answer any question. Dear old soul watching this, what are you feeling right now? For those of you who don't even claim to be old souls, did you tune in to see the weird people? Or is there more? Did you come across this because something rings true to you about the information of Lemuria? And if that is you, I will tell you something right now. Welcome to the Earth that was predicted back in 1989, when both my work started and the work of Alcazar started. This is the reason we came. Welcome to an Earth that you arrived for. Welcome to a time that seems like it would be strange, filled with strife and war, when we say that it is an awakening time of peace. Welcome to a light that is shining so bright on this planet that all the dirt is starting to show for the first time ever. It has never been like this before. Are you awakening to this? I want to take you someplace. The two of us, just the two of us. I want you to go back with me a long, long time to this place called Lemuria. And there is a part of you, a consciousness of you, or perhaps an ancestral part of you who is with me there. How many of you believe in angels? Let me ask this. Does the earth believe in angels? And the answer would be overwhelmingly. There are some masters, you might call them, that are always angelic, or perhaps the heads of belief systems that were angelic. It's everywhere. You might say it's worldwide. Angels. What if it started where you're standing with me in Lemuria? What if the angels were not what you thought? What if there is a presence from the stars that is so magnificently spectacular in its wisdom and its sacredness that when a star person might come from an ascended planet, you can't even look at them because they're angelic? Let me ask you, angel or not? I'll tell you, this is blurred and always has been. I'm giving you information perhaps you've never thought of, or that is so controversial that you don't want to believe it. What if there are those from the stars who have had millions of years more life than you have on this planet? They started way earlier with their development and evolution spiritually than you. You're just beginning. They're an ascended planet. They come here, and what do they appear like to you? As they can be almost anything, anywhere. And you can feel them coming. And their sacredness is so much it makes you fall to your knees. What have you called them? You called them angels. Come with me back to this island where an angel stood in front of you when you were a child and taught you the glory of your soul, the magnificence of God, the way things work on this, your soul planet, the place that you are meant to come to. Can you relate to that? And the energy that flowed into you even as a youngster from this star mother, this eternal being, that energy was absorbed and flowed right into that which you are now calling the 24th pair of chromosomes. This 24th pair, dear ones, is more than just a memory bank. It carried with it not just information. You were being given the essence of your soul, the beauty and the compassion and the kindness of the way all things work, put right into you so that someday you would be that angel. That someday, when this 24th pair would start to awaken, it would change your Akashic lineage forever. What I'm telling you is there's more here than you think. The task of the Lemurian, number one, cognize it, understand it, believe it, realize that is the magnificence of you. Number two, allow for the idea that it's starting to awaken with your permission to change you today, to heal you today, to connect you to the stars today. Oh, there is so much here. The task is to allow this information to blossom within you. And there is no doctrine, dear ones, and there is no master, dear ones. There is only love. That's it. What a concept. That humanity would awaken, not to a doctrine or a way of worship, but to the love of spirit. What an idea. That's the task of the Lemurian. I'm in love with all of you, dear ones. For the effort for you to watch this, to be interested, and to sit back and ask yourself, could this really be true? I have touched some today where you might then ask that of yourself. Go ahead. That's the first thing that has to happen. You look at your own divinity and you ask the question, yes or no. What does your intuition say right now? And so it is.
So we're going to stay in this sacred space and move now into a Stargate meditation with so much love and gratitude for the presence of Kryon, the presence of Monika, the presence of Lee. Thank you all. And now we invite everyone, if you haven't already done so, close your eyes, go inside.
And so, beloved ones, tis Alcazar. And we invite each one of you to allow your body and your mind to relax. When we meditate with the Stargate, we always start by inviting the energies of the earth, the energies of Gaia or Terra, to come up into your body, into your energy field. So we are inviting each one of you now just to call for the consciousness of the earth to respond to you right now, bringing a gentle energy into you.
So we are calling for the energy of the earth, each one of you simply asking inside, silently within, and now being very receptive, for with your asking, the earth is responding to you.
Just allowing for the possibility that this consciousness of the earth knows you and will respond. Do not be too worried if you are not feeling energy as yet. It will start to grow as we move through this beautiful meditation. And so now we are going to invite each one of you who are familiar with the Stargate to call for an etheric Stargate to come down around you. The Stargate is a physical geometric structure that is an anchor for a higher dimensional consciousness, which we call the etheric stargate. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with this stargate, we invite you just imagine that you are seated or lying down within a pyramid. For the consciousness, the etheric stargate's consciousness will recognize your intention to participate in this meditation.
And so just asking inside right now for the etheric stargate, the energy of the stargate to come and form around you. And so we are calling for the presence of an etheric stargate.
And just imagine or visualize the stargate around you or the pyramid around you. Visualizing helps you connect and see if you can sense its presence. And now just asking for the activation of the etheric stargate, which is you giving your permission for this consciousness to support you, raising your vibration in this meditation.
And so we call for the activation of all the etheric stargates around the world.
Very good. And so we are going to start to vibrate, gently vibrate the structure around you. And as we do so, the vibrations, as they gently rise, are going to move through the energetics of the different dimensions. And so we start this process now. And as we start to vibrate your stargate or your pyramid faster and faster, we are moving out of the frequency ranges of the third dimension. Nothing for you to do, just relaxing. And as we vibrate faster and faster, we are already moving into the frequency ranges of the fifth dimension and continuing to accelerate. Moving now through the energy ranges of the sixth dimension and merging into the frequencies of the seventh dimension, where we are going to pause this vibration for a few moments.
And so your stargate is now vibrating at this seventh dimensional frequency. And we ask each one of you just to ask inside for a strong seventh dimensional energy field.
We call for a strong energy of the seventh dimension in all these structures around the world, all connected, all linked together in this vast Stargate grid system. And as you relax into these seventh dimensional energies, slowly, slowly, your vibration will gently rise, effortlessly. There's nothing to do. It happens all by itself. So simply being relaxed and the Stargate radiating these gentle energies. These frequencies, these vibrations, vibrate you at a cellular level. And in fact, at the very level of your DNA. And as you have heard already, these vibrations can start the process of reactivating your higher dimensional DNA, that which Kryon has described as the 24th chromosome. There's nothing to do, just the relaxation, just the openness allows for these energies to move a little deeper within you. Very good. And so now we are going to continue to vibrate the energies of these structures faster and faster, moving out of the seventh dimensional energetics and through the frequency ranges of the eighth, merging into the energy field of the ninth dimensions.
Continuing, vibrating faster still as we are merging up through your ninth into your 10th dimensional frequencies and vibrating quite rapidly now as we are entering into your 11th dimension and continuing to accelerate until we are reaching now into your 12th dimensional frequencies, where we bring all the stargates to a gentle pause. And so your stargate is now vibrating at a 12th dimensional frequency. And we ask each one of you to invite a strong 12th dimensional energy field.
We call for a strong 12th dimensional energy in all the structures around this world, all vibrating together in harmony. And as before, as you simply relax, your own energy is gently coaxed into harmony with the 12th dimensional energetics around you. And again, there's nothing to do. It happens all by itself. And as you allow yourself to vibrate at the frequency of the 12th dimension, you become more sensitive to the many guides and benevolent beings who are available to assist in your awakening process. And so we are going to invite few of these beautiful beings into this meditation right now. Understand first that the guides respond to your personal invitation. And so when we invite the guides, we ask you to feel the desire in your heart and the intention from your mind, combining these energies into the invitation for the various guides that we will be naming. They respond to your vibration. So the stronger your invitation, the stronger you will feel the response. And so first, we ask each one of you to ask inside for the presence of the angelic realm.
And so, asking with feeling, we are calling for the presence of the angels.
And feel as they bring the energy into the meditation. Can you feel the energy around you gently changing as the angels bring their presence to you, as they bring their presence into this global meditation? Relax into the love of the angels, here to support you, here to help you feel the depth of their love. Very good. Very good. And in this very special meditation, we are going to ask you with this deep feeling to invite the presence of the Pleiadian Mothers who are still here on the earth, waiting for this global awakening. So asking inside with strong intention, we call for the presence of the Pleiadian Mothers. And feel. Can you feel the energy gently changing around you as these beautiful ones bring the energy to you, joining the angels. So invite them to come closer. Come closer. Yes. Feeling their love, feeling their honoring of you as we invite them to support us in our individual awakening. Very good. Very good. And as you have heard from both Kryon and Alcazar, you came from the stars. And so we invite you to allow for that possibility that you have what we call a star family out there in civilization from whence you came, an enlightened civilization where the whole planet was vibrating in the oneness of that which you call enlightenment. You came from one of these enlightened civilizations. You chose to go on this earth journey, knowing that you and many, many others would be coming from different enlightened societies around your universe to come together and to incarnate on your earth to create something new in the universe. There are many different places from which different individuals have come. We are going to invite some of these star families to bring their energy and support into this meditation. We are going to start by inviting the Pleiadians, for they have indeed a very special connection to humanity.
And
So we ask each one of you just to ask inside for the presence and support of the Pleiadians.
we call for the presence and the support of the Pleiadians.
And just feel, here they come. Just feeling their energy, joining us in this global meditation, joining the Pleiadian Mothers who are already here, and joining the angelic realm, all coming together to create a field of oneness around you. Yes. Very good. Very good. And now another star family, the Arcturans, another ancient race of high consciousness who are available to assist humanity. They have been working with humanity as the Pleiadians have, watching, supporting our evolution. So now each one of us, again with feeling, inviting the presence and support of the Arcturans.
So we call for the presence and the support of the Arcturan star family.
And again, just feel, here they come. A gentle shift in the energy as the Arcturans bring their support in this meditation. You can feel the energy coming, and then after a moment, they merge their energies with those who have come before, enhancing this field of oneness, relaxing into it, allowing this incredible field of love to vibrate you, to start to stimulate a remembrance of who you truly are and where you have come from. Very good. Another star family, the Syrians. Again, just with feeling, just asking inside for the presence and support of representatives from Syrians.
And so we call for the presence of the Syrians.
And feel, here they come. Again, feeling their presence as they join us, inviting them to come closer. And they merge with the others in this field of oneness. Very good. One more star family, the Lyrans. Again, very ancient. So with feeling, just invite now.
We are calling for the presence of the Lyrans.
And again, here they come, the Lyrans, bringing their energy into this global meditation, vibrating us to our very core, not just on the physical level, but your multidimensional nature is being vibrated right now by the love of these masters, these incredible beings who are here to support our awakening. And they are looking forward to the moment when humanity awakens and takes their rightful place in the community of the stars. There are many other star families. We have named but a few. And so we invite you, if you feel a connection to a star family that we have not mentioned, invite them. And if you have no idea what star family you came from, then we invite you just to be open to the possibility that maybe there is a star family waiting for you to remember. So each one of us now, just inviting our star family, known or unknown, to bring their energies into this meditation. And can you feel it is already beginning to happen? Add your voice, add your invitation right now.
We are calling for the presence of our family from our home in the stars.
And feel. Beloved ones, you are beginning a beautiful journey of rapid awakening. You have been on a long journey over many, many lives. Now is the time for consciousness to be reclaimed. And it is you, individually and as the collective of humanity, that are calling this forth.
And so,
Feel.
beloved ones, we wish to connect you now to this rainbow bridge, for as you have heard, this one, Julieanne, is located currently in this moment of your now, in the energy of Hawaii, on the island of Maui. And as you have heard, these current day islands are the mountaintops of what was once Lemuria, Mu, the ancient lands. And so first we wish for you to simply ask inside for the energy presence of the current day, the modern day Hawaiian Islands to come to you. So just asking inside, we are calling for the energy of the Hawaiian Islands. And just feel a gentle, energetic. Each island has its own energy presence, and they are coming to you as one right now. Feel this. And now, beloveds, you can invite the energy of ancient Lemuria, which is still held in these lands, to come more strongly to the forefront. And so just the invitation, we are calling for the energies of ancient Lemuria to come to each one of us right now. And feel. Beloveds, the energies of these ancient lands are still present, still available, and still getting stronger as humanity raises its consciousness enough to recall, to remember, and to reclaim this ancient knowledge, this ancient wisdom from your past. This one, Prageet, is in Mount Shasta. So we will turn it over through his channel now to invite those energies.
And so, beloved ones, we invite you to call forth the support of the many Lemurian masters that still live within Mount Shasta, in the inner earth city of Telos. So we ask you to invite into this meditation the power and the presence of Mount Shasta and all within her.
And so we are calling for the power and the presence of Mount Shasta.
And feel as this energy joins this meditation, celebrating this moment, this next step of understanding and awakening. Beloved ones, if you are hearing these words, we are talking to you. It is time to remember. The time is now. The awakening is in process. Allow yourself to ride the wave of awakening, shedding the old ways, shedding the old irrelevant beliefs, allowing your mind and your heart to open up to a greater truth that is your own and not one that has been given to you externally from your societies, religions, schools, parents. Allow yourself to rediscover that which is your own truth. Slowly, slowly, it will be coming to you. Know thyself and be free. And so it is. And so, beloved ones, just feeling yourself present in the body. And take a moment just to tune in to your own energy field right now. Notice the subtle vibrations occurring within. And just acknowledge them to yourself. Your vibration has elevated just by relaxing into these fields created by these beautiful beings. Feel the vibration within, and by acknowledging it, yes, I can feel that. You allow yourself to be more open to the possibility of these energies coming to you in your future. And so now, very slowly and gently, without rushing, allow the eyes to come open and to come fully back into your room, bringing these energies with you. Oh.
So just
Okay.
feeling that liminal space as you're still vibrating with all the energies, still very attuned to the quantum field, and yet opening your eyes, coming back. We always love to hear your experiences, so please feel free to type into the chat. Let us know how that meditation was for you. And we are going to talk a little bit about the collaboration that we'll be doing in Mount Shasta later this month. So Lee and Monika will be coming to our living room. It's going to be one of the last workshops that we're doing in that space. And it's always really beautiful because it's a very intimate environment. We'll have about 30 or 40 people in person with us, but we'll have thousands of people on the live stream. And so we'll be creating a very strong energetic field and a blending of the energies of the Stargate with the teachings and the channelings of Kryon and Alcazar.
Yes, we've got a few physical spaces left. So if you'd like to join Lee and Monika and Jules and I in Mount Shasta, you'll have to be quick because those places are going to fill up very quickly.
Yeah. So this is the page where you can go and sign up. The link for that is posted in the chat. Stargate.live/newlemurian will take you there. And you can see here, you can join us either in person or on the live stream. And for the live stream, we always like to make it accessible for everyone around the world. And so as you can see, you can choose the contribution level that works for you. And this is going to give you access, all of the prices, to the same 4 days of energy experiences. And so we're going to be focused very much on the reactivation of this higher dimensional DNA, of this 24th chromosome. The whole workshop is called The Task of the New Lemurian, and it's going to be all about embodying this wisdom from Lemuria.
And I feel that this session we have done has created a beautiful energetic foundation to now open even further to those energies. And I know that we are transmitting and receiving at the same time. That's the whole purpose of the 24th multidimensional chromosome. Think of it like an antenna in your body, and it's this antenna that transmits and receives that star energy, wisdom, guidance, And I even want to introduce a term that the Star Mothers gave to Lee and I through some of our teachings, is that within that time capsule, I also want to bring that term up. Your 24th chromosome is a time capsule. And within that time capsule are the sacred instructions for life.
Kryon always surprises me in Shasta because there's so much energy there, and it's like it comes right from the mountain. So there's unusual channels that are not normal, I'd say, for if there is a normal for me. But I always feel so, I would say, empowered and enriched. And having Kryon in Shasta again, it's about time. It's been a long time since
It
we've
has
been,
been,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, it is. And Shasta is a time capsule
Or-
of the
yeah.
planet.
Yeah.
And so
Mhm.
Kryon really wants us to know that a time capsule, the way that Kryon presents it, is not a time capsule where you look at past energies, but it is real time quantum communication, a portal to higher dimensions.
Kryon calls it a time capsule because it opens when it's time,
Yes.
Mm.
as opposed to a repository of old things. So
Yeah. So thank you so much, Prageet and Jules, for inviting us into your home so we can do this collaboration together and explore, discover, and expand.
Well, you know, it's always a great joy for us to be together. There's some beautiful comments coming through too. Colleen was saying the frequencies surged through me. I felt as if I was being held in waves of love. Diamonds and stars were swirling around my inner vision. And
Shaylee
Deborah,
saying, I could stay in this energy forever.
Well, that's the invitation.
Yeah, come play with us.
It is to keep
Yeah.
that energy with you forever at the supermarket, cooking dinner, going to the bathroom. It's about having these energies embodied with you forever. And that's the whole point of all of this and activating that 24th chromosome.
Practical stuff. That's what I go for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Marianne is saying, such deep peace. I didn't want to come back. No, and this was just a little taste. We're talking about 4 whole days in the presence of the mountain and the Lemurian masters and the Telosians and so much more. Yeah.
And Marion saying strong vibrations around the heart center and eyes, visible pulsing of purple and yellow, still reverberating. Thanks for the love bath.
Oh, yes. And Christina is saying the strength of the mountain in Shasta and the softness of the islands of Hawaii. Beautiful. Thank you. Bring us more. Yes. Well, again, lots more comments coming in. Thank you for sharing all your thoughts and experiences.
This is a beautiful one from Brad. He said, when we went back to Lemuria, I saw myself as a child in a classroom with many of the first Pleiadian / Lemurian children sitting on the floor, being taught by an angelic looking feminine being dressed in blue silken dress.
That's pretty accurate. Pretty accurate description. Yeah.
Wow. And Victoria is saying, I found myself experiencing a higher vibration even before the meditation started. It is something I never felt before. I had a hard time staying in the body and grounded. Yeah. Well, these energies can really take you to other places as well. So we look forward to sharing much more of these for 4 whole days.
Yeah, and Victoria, next time, maybe let yourself go and see what happens when you let yourself get untethered. Because Alcazar says in these experiences, you're being worked with individually and there's nothing to do, which means whatever's happening for you is perfect.
Charlemagne is saying, thank you for the experience. I am so inspired with the light flowing in so strong. Yay. Okay, well, thank you so much, Lee and Monika, for joining us in this little brief taste. And yeah, as you know, we're really looking forward to hanging out with you in Mount Shasta.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone. Love to all of us.
Same here. Hope to see you again. Right here. Same station. Kind of.
And as I said, there's just a few places left. If you want to be with us in person with the four of us for 4 days.
Don't give away our two places, by the way.
Oh,
just to let you know.
Okay, Jules.
I know you get excited.
Make a note, Jules. Save 2 spaces.
Yeah, save 2 spaces for us.
Okay, goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Much love. Bye-bye.